You've got to understand why we steer then gear even on a twin engine boat. So steer then gear is turn to the right, put this engine in forward, the boat's going to rotate like this, turn to the left, put the right engine, that starboard engine, into reverse, the boat's going to move like this, then turn again, put that port engine in forward, the boat rotates like this. Now, when it comes to wind, and let's say you split the sticks, that pivot point is going to be right around here. So with a wind moving this way, we have to bring from that pivot point all of this bow into the wind, and it's really hard, and you start white knuckling the bow around into the wind. You start grabbing those levers really hard and try to give it more power, and that gets kind of scary sometimes. So what's easier in wind like this is to do that steer then gear technique, where you want to turn to the right, put that port engine in forward. The boat's going to rotate around a pivot point of right here. Since this water shoots out this way, that means the stern is going to move this way, right? So now we have pivot point of right here. Now we get to a point where there is resistance for the wind. We got to quickly turn to the left and give it some controlled power in that starboard reverse. That pivot point is no longer here when you're in reverse, it's back here. So you have to give it controlled power to kind of slingshot that bow into the wind a little bit. And then our next move, when you get to a point of about right here, turn to the right again, and then put port into forward. Now, when you go into forward, that pivot point is right here. So really all you have to do is bring this much of the bow into the wind, as opposed to splitting the sticks, you bring that much of the bow into the wind. So this is actually a lot easier. Put port into forward and give it more power, controlled power, and that swings the stern down. The wind is actually helping swing that stern down, and then you just got to get this much of the bow into the wind, and you move like that. Then you could straighten out when you feel like that bow is into the wind, and you're good to go. So that's the advantage of using the steer then gear technique versus splitting the sticks with heavy wind or current.